Welcome back. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE here at the NYSE studios of theCUBE. Of course, we have our Palo Alto studio connecting Silicon Valley and Wall Street. This is our practitioners. We talk to experts who have been in the field, looking at technology and trying to frame out how technology is going to be an enabler for us humans as we rewire ourselves around AI. Jerry Portis here is the CIO of P&G, retired CIO of Procter Gamble, 38 years. Great to have you on. Consumer product packaged goods is a big topic in AI. Obviously, P&G, a great leader in that, #1 in all categories. Like to spend a lot of money on advertising. They got a lot of data.
Like have a lot of data.
Welcome to theCUBE.
A lot of consumer touches, 5 billion a year. So lots of places to bring data, to model it, and to leverage it to sort of help move things forward.
So my first question is, it comes up a lot on these practitioner series and also on the retail side of AI. You're seeing a lot of folks that have been in either consumer packaged goods like Procter Gamble and others. The data is always key. Now, Procter Gamble is well known. It's been documented in all business school case studies, and the culture of P&G is very data driven.
Very much so.
They're very aggressive on their marketing, how they use data, very disciplined and intentional on data. So they got great analytics.
Yep, we do.
So now that you have that, it's a perfect segue to, okay, you have data, get data discipline. How has the AI thinking infected the change of how people are thinking, working? This is the #1 conversation in today's market.
Yep.
How AI changes the role of the human at all levels.
Yep.
Coding assistants are now going commoditized to almost being prompting. You got data lakes. Dashboards are turning into intelligent hubs.
Correct.
So that kind of discipline kind of gives an advantage to someone that has discipline.
Yeah, well, listen, and also some vision. I think, clearly, one of the big pieces that we've been seeing in the news, like how 80%, 90% of all the AI projects sort of fell in companies. And for me, it really comes down to, do you have a clear strategy on where you're actually going to try to extract value or really change the innovation process? And from my vantage point, I looked at it as, okay, how do we leverage AI and sort of the emerging new tools? We do have a lot of richness in data to really create value, not only for our consumers, but for ourselves. And so for us, and for my organization at the time when I was there, we really looked at this as another enabler for us to move faster and to better serve our consumers, getting better insights as we were able to aggregate and look at all that data. And not only the data we had, the large language models also now allow us to bring in all the data, disparate data from everywhere else. And then we can model that and create some very interesting solutions, leveraging the external data and our own proprietary data, then to create new solutions that we didn't think about. And not only new solutions, but sometimes at a speed that we didn't expect. I'll give you one example, and this is one that we had, we've published it, so I'm not disclosing anything that is not out there. We actually won an award in Fast Company, and this is for the molecular design suite. And essentially, we were able to leverage all of the molecule data that's out there, plus our own unique models, to identify new solution materials and molecules to go after core benefits for our consumer. And in some instances, we're able to take that development process from multi-million dollars, multi-years, down to months and solutions to better serve our consumer. And so that's just one example and a very specific targeted piece where it could drive breakthrough. And then it just opens up the world of all the different things you can do, right?
Yeah, Cherry, the thing that I love about your historical view is that you've seen many waves of innovation and a company that likes them, like Procter Gamble. And also in corporate America, there's always been innovation. Hey, we're at a competency center. So you've seen the art of the change, the transformations. And companies win in transitions. That's well documented. What's different about this transition, in your opinion? Because it's almost like a philosophical change, because you're infusing AI in all aspects of the workforce and R&D functions. And most R&D is becoming in the models. So the role of data, R&D, discovery and invention, reinvention, transformation, all seem to be playing by a little bit different rules.
Correct.
What's changed?
Well, I'd say first and foremost, I think AI is going to touch everybody. So in the past, it might just be unique, specific practitioners that were experts in a certain area. You didn't have to worry about it. I'm still going to need to do my spreadsheet, do my cost analysis, what have you. The power of AI right now is like a lot of those simple tasks, a lot of folks can go off and do now. And so that frees us up to go after more complex and other pieces. And I'd say the other thing too, and this is yet to be proven, is the real magic's going to be at the intersection of AI and these new insights that then create something completely new. And so what I've found is if we could take away a lot of the road to the other pieces and start to look at the totality of data, then our folks, our scientists, our business partners, our commercial leaders, once they get all of that, you get new insights that then allow us then to move.
Is there a template in your opinion that you think is a good mental model or baseline template? I know every company's different.
Yeah.
So everyone have a different kind of, is there a pattern or some sort of template that you see is good for AI if you were running a transformation initiative at a company that, where the rules are pretty clear, the more people learn how to use it, it's a tool. Use the tool you got. It's like saying, I don't want to use that PC. I'm happy with my slide rule. I mean, this is kind of like the metaphor people are using. Like,
it is. I guess I haven't seen one template other than what I would say that has worked, yet to be proven on, and I think, our current CEO had mentioned it in his previous, in his last earnings call that, we're trying to, P&G now, the company I used to work for, is trying to build the company for the future, leveraging these new capabilities and tools. And for me, to your point, I think it first starts with, are you clear on your overall business strategy? And then you ask the question that I've always asked is, how will the capabilities allow us to accelerate or get us new breakthroughs in those pieces? And so for us, AI could touch each of the elements. It could touch the irresistible superiority. It could touch the circular piece around ongoing savings that we need to refuel that piece, but then breakthrough brand marketing. It can help us get better insights and more quickly create the visuals, the insights to do the communication. If we've got all of the data, we know which ones are working, which ones are not, and we can pivot real time to make those changes. It could potentially help us as we think about in the new world and some of the companies that I'm working with right now on how do you foster a more integrative conversation with the consumer so it does it like a chat box to actually build the brand, build the brand up, and it almost feel like, it's answering your questions, but from the brand context. All of those things will help us drive better trial, penetration, and potentially reach consumers that we hadn't reached before. So I see that it actually could touch all of those. You just have to have what can it allow me to do today in this space that I didn't think was possible because I have this tool.
Well, Jerry, sounds like you're going to be a regular on theCUBE. We have a lot to talk about. We'd love to have you come back because, again, I think the convergence of consumer, it's not a category anymore because everyone's a consumer with AI. So I think the experience will change, like the internet changed things.
Like the internet changed everything. Consumers are going to have different expectations on what's the information, what they want to be. Everyone wants a curated solution. If I can
work can get done for you. It's like, okay, deliver it to me or build this.
Exactly. I've done all this, answered all the questions, and then it's here tomorrow.
I bought this. What else can go with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Engine built
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Based on the questions you were asking and what you're looking for, here's a regimen solution that may actually take you to a different place.
All right, so now that you're retired, obviously you're not going to be clipping coupons laying in the beach.
No, not at all.
What are you up to? What are you working on? Give us a taste of what's motivating you. What are you focused on?
Well, clearly, as you've heard me talk right now, clearly AI is a space that's interesting and that intersection. So I just joined the board of DaVinci, and they're off working on how to leverage agentic AI really to change sort of the relationship both on purchasing with the customer, but also this whole concept of creating a unique brand store that has different agentic agents to sort of work the consumer through. I think that's going to be completely powerful on changing sort of that search piece on LLM, and this is going to be agnostic across all the LLMs. So, that's what the eyes of the team are creating and working through. And so I think this is just another opportunity for us to have a better curated conversation of the brands with consumers, and consumers then can get more of their needs met more easily.
You're helping companies speak to the big brands, understand AI innovation.
Correct. And where the opportunities could be to either better serve the consumer or to help them find and close that
I just wrote a piece on LinkedIn because it was an article in the New York Times I responded to. Ezra Klein wrote an article about how AI's changed things. And my takeaway was it's rewiring us.
Yes.
And one of the things I mentioned in that article is that if you look at the role of the human, it's becoming a cognitive assistant.
Yep.
And that's a double-edged sword because it's only as good as what you
put into it and what you see is
and
the
what
data
it sees. So It doesn't teach instinct. It doesn't teach certain behaviors. So there's also another side to it. So, okay, certainly accelerates, makes you smarter, faster, better.
Yep.
No doubt about that.
Yep. Yeah.
But I'll die on that hill. Productivity hill, I see all the evidence.
But you still need the creativity of other people to say what goes beyond the model. What does that really mean? That intersection that you don't always see. That's where the human still needs to play a part. And you know, conditions of things change all the time. The models are only as good as what you put into them.
And we as humans have to realize that we're driving the Ferrari, the sports car, whatever boat, whatever you want to say, the bus.
Yeah, exactly. To do that piece.
Jerry, great to have you on. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate meeting you. And again, looking forward. I think there's a lot to learnings because as the consumer and data and experience converges into one system, everything changes, but the game is still the same. Data, experience, value.
And I'd say the other piece too is, like I said, DaVinci, we're working, going to be working with big enterprises. I was also doing work with sort of that small 3 to 5 million. How do we get them on the train of AI to transform their business and their interactions? And so I'm doing some work with a couple of firms there as well.
And brands are popping out of the woodwork. You see influencers starting their own tequila brands. Like you could go to market. You don't need to have the big heavy machinery.
Not anymore. I think the barrier to entry is a lot lower. So everyone needs to be on their toes.
Jerry Porter's here, and so
thank you.
Expert, 38 years at Procter Gamble, leading firm in all categories. Again, taking that knowledge and coming to AI, it'll be ingested, using AI to make you better, but also understanding what it can't do. That's the superpower of what we're seeing in the Practitioner Series. My name is John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.